Hey folks, this is Brian. We just got done playing RQG. Well, not just, it's been a while. A few minutes. 15, 20, I think. But anyway, excuse me. Uh, Finishing up Darkness at Runegate pretty much. They finished up the combat, and just as we thought I was going to have a TPK last time, and they managed to survive through that, the dice rolls just turned the opposite direction, and they whacked up the remaining brew pretty quick. A couple of them tried to run, but doing the flee option means everybody gets to attack you for free. They took down the guy with the two-handed spear after they had chopped up the female brew. That negate armor and negate magic thing really took a toll on her specifically. But it is what it is, right? So we did do a bit of a chase scene. I'm still trying to find a nice, easy way to track that, and so it makes sense to me, and I can follow what's happening. I think about choosing numbers, but that doesn't necessarily do it because then you have to subtract the difference from the guy you're chasing, kind of thing. But anyway, I went through, must have been like 5 or 6 rounds of chasing. Well, I don't let them attack when they're side by side because it takes strike ranks to attack, and that means they're out in front of you again, kind of thing. When they actually got in front of the fleeing brew, that gave them a chance to attack. And about midway, Arestra and Jarstakos were actually able to catch up to him and did a couple of whacks. Later on, the Hamakti and Jarstakos again were able to get on him. A couple of whacks to put him down. While that was going on, the rest of the party was taking all the humans and putting them in the cart, take them out of this place. The wounded and the dead. They tried to do healing on healing on Cephalos from the 0. And the male Hamakti, the female Hamakti had already done healing on him. And he only got hit once. Excuse me. And they're throwing brew bodies on the bonfire. Having got back to the town going, hey, we would have gathered if anything seemed of interest. I mean, what would be of interest? Well, the weapons that weren't, standard brew, spear, and club. So there's the rapier, the short sword, and the two-handed spear. So they grabbed those. Are you really searching the bodies? Well, not all the bodies, but maybe these two, and those two had crystals, so got those. There was one thing that I had to make a search roll for that they missed. It had to do with one of the other brew. A couple hours later, they get to Runegate. Bang, bang, bang. Let us in. We've got several series been wounded. Okay, what's going on? Get the gun. That kind of stuff. They go in. They go to the Great Hall. Lay people out, do a little triage thing. Guess we can do some healing. Guess we can do first aid. Is there anybody who can treat disease? If anybody do treat disease, everybody would be treating. They'd be treating everybody with disease. Which could there be? Well, maybe it might be an initiate or a priestess in the Arnaldan Temple here that may have those kinds of skills. So just kind of loosey goosey on some of this stuff. That so no, there's not. Sorry. So the party makes a plan. Davin, the sorcerer, has a spell, Mystic Vision, that he got from a previous adventure. It allows him to see magic kind of stuff. So he's going to, take some time, casting that. And at the same time, Miriam is going to do some spirit travel and look for a spirit who has the cure all disease rune spell. I feel it's fairly rare, so that's a -30 to that spirit travel. And she would augment. She was augmented with her spirit lore skill. Where in the spirit world would you find these kinds of things, kind of deal? Yeah, that makes sense. So he made those rolls. He did 3 separate trips. He did 2 trips. The second trip lasted. He made 2 finds on the second trip. But he found these fairly powerful spirits. 21, 25. The last one was only 16. But sacrificing magic points to them. Come and help us, please. Cast your rune spell, kind of thing. And so they were able to heal Sevros, who had 2 disease spirits. The female Humakti had 2 diseases. Not disease spirits, 2 diseases. And the male Humakti had 1 disease. From that first spirit. The second one he found was too powerful for him to deal with. And the third one only had enough to cast the spell once, enough rune points to cast the spell once. So they had him treat David. So there's still Jarstakos and Arestra. So I'm going to do some more later. But by this point, one of my players was tapping out, and we looked at the time, and it's hitting midnight. Okay, we're done, guys. We'll just finish this up later. But there's some discussion when they got back the next morning. Veranos and his daughter, Indrili, keep forgetting her name, and I don't have it highlighted in my thing, which I should do. They come, what's going on, that kind of thing, and first aid is done all around. And Veranos asks if they ran into any baboons out there, because he was now that he's healed and is thinking straight. Baboons appeared in the forest near Runegate. I mean, they seen them outside the gate, outside the city itself, about the time that the disease spirits hit. But when they went to go investigate them, they all tear off into the woods. So Davin and Arestra we're talking together, and so they start asking questions about, okay, these 2 troll friends of ours, Darylian and Little Lillian, and they did, because when they came to the town, they reported to the Thane looking for this other thing they were looking for. Veranos was not aware of another thing showing up. Excuse me. Obviously thinking that if somebody showed up, they'd introduce themselves, say, hey, I'm here, this is why I'm doing, that kind of thing. They searched around the town, didn't find any signs of him, reported back, we weren't able to find him or anything. We're leaving. Didn't say where they were going, and they left. Another thing the party was contracted on is, why has Veranos not bent the knee to Laika? And made a couple of rolls. The party's helpful. Yeah, maybe he should go and do that kind of thing. And if nothing else, then maybe she'll be able to send forces to help with the healing and the cleansing of this place, that kind of deal. So he agrees that, yeah, he should go. And the party says, hey, great, we'll be your retinue. We'll, escort you there. Okay, fine, but we need to wait till Sevros is healed up. So it's going to be at least a week, if not 2. And then that gives the party time also to do the the ritual for the mystic vision and to do the spirit travel stuff, looking for healing spirits to help heal people here up and get things going. So after that last spirit, that's where we cut it off. Don't think I forgot anything. I was just that negate armor on the brew with 6-point skin. Really, it just down she was out. She was going to heal 6 on her abdomen, which would have got her up, and she was going to look at the guy who gutted her and spit blood out of her mouth, lick her lips, and wink at him, that kind of thing. But c'est la vie. Happy gaming.